Hi, I'm Sa'i Nyangi. Yes, it's Saturday day before Friday. This is WrestleTalk News. I got my blazer, haven't got a shirt, it's been a while.
No,
What? What you mean? What?
No jackets.
No jackets. Hi guys, it's been a while since I've done this. But yes, welcome to WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk.
Get exclusive bonus videos over at patreon.com/WrestleTalk.
John Cena, aka the guy these fools said was one of the worst WWE champion of all time. Check out the latest edition of TLC once you've watched this. Shockingly announced that this year's Money in the Bank that he'll be officially retiring at the end of 2025. Cena has said he'll be working around his other commitments, but is reportedly factored into plans for the WWE debut on Netflix. And of course, WrestleMania. And the first step have been confirmed, as WWE released a video announcing that John Cena will indeed be part of the 2025 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Interestingly, Cena himself said this will be his last Royal Rumble event, not Royal Rumble match. So, there's still questions over whether he's in the Rumble itself or in just a match on the undercard. What would you like to see Cena do at the Royal Rumble? Which I must remind you is in February next year, my birthday month. I'm turning 35. Let me know in the comments down bloody below. Cena won't be on every show when he makes his return. He's doing around 36 dates, which will include TV, pay-per-views, and special events. But with the way WWE are taping the TV currently, maybe he'll be around for every episode of Raw in 2025. TKO president Mark Shapiro said at a conference last year that it cost a significant amount of money to take Raw and SmackDown on the road every week. And as a business, they don't really need to be doing it. He said, "We're going to scrutinize every dollar on the production end of every single one of these events and every single one of these telecasts, and we're going to realize substantial savings." WWE taped an episode of Raw in October. They taped the episode of Raw following Crown Jewel, and next week's episode of Raw was taped after this week's episode, which saw a surprise return and War Games participant confirmed, all of which of course was leaked online. Similarly, the episode of SmackDown was aired before Crown Jewel was taped in advance, and PW Insider are now reporting that WWE will be doing more tape shows in December. The December 13th live taping of SmackDown will have the December 20th episode taped after that, and the December 16th live edition of Raw will have the December 23rd episode taped after that. This led to an outcry from fans who don't like to see spoilers ahead of time, but perhaps this is less WWE cutting costs and simply logistical decisions. The October episode of Raw. Hi.
Sorry.
Look at that. Look at that. Come on in. Come on in, guys. Yes. Getting the jackets and then they're gonna go. Yes. This is great. I needed a break.
Doing a great job.
Thank you. Yes.
Well done. Shake hands.
Tempest. Yes. Where's Ollie? Where's Luke? There you go.
Thank you.
Look, Luke's there. Look, Ollie's there. Look, where are they? They're both there. See, comment section, they're both there. Stop cussing at me. I can read. The October episode of Raw was taped due to the European tour. The Saudi Arabia tapings were due to travel, and the taped shows in December gives them a time off over the holiday seasons. It's a far cry from the days of WWE booking house shows on Christmas Day. Even Ryback, of all people, has come to the WWE defense here, writing on Twitter, "Wrestlers are human beings with lives, families, and non-stop schedules. If tape shows give them a breather, that's a good thing." Well said, Ryback. Very diplomatic and well put. He continued, "So instead of spoiling it for yourself online, just enjoy the show. They work harder than any form of sports or entertainment year round. Do yourself a favor. Quit whining over nothing and show some respect to the men and women who give some sort of meaning to your pathetic life." Okay, so maybe he wasn't diplomatic about that. So for now, guys, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while. I'm gonna introduce to you the other half of the House of the Black Mask. This gorgeous man is gonna do a review of Dynamite. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Canada's very own Tempest. Oh baby, I've missed you. Look at him. We're back. And the screen goes. Hello, I'm Tempest, and I'm celebrating the death of Twitter as we know it. This is my review of Dynamite in about 5 minutes. We opened this week's Dynamite with a match, which honestly is incredibly refreshing. I didn't know how much I missed it. Hangman and Christian clashed, which I love, as I still don't think Hangman would completely align himself with the villains of the AEW locker room, even after everything he's done. Remember, he's still the hero of this story. Hook snatched Nick Wayne and brawled to the back, and then the Bang Bang Gang were left to fend off Page and Cage, and they did for a bit, with Switchblade hitting a brutal Blade Runner on Christian into the barricade, but then Mother Wayne distracted the ref, Kip Sabian hit Juice with Christian's contract, and Hanger hit the Deadeye for the win. Backstage, Renee interviewed Mercedes Moné, who denied any intention behind trying to hit Chris Stat with the car last week, forcing Camille to pick up her jacket, further teasing their impending breakup, and then Chris attacked and they brawled through a wall. They went through a wall, 5-star segment. Will Ospreay emerged next and called out Kyle Fletcher. Kyle called Will a coward, and Will told him to take whatever out of his back pocket. Kyle threw Will the screwdriver, and Will threw it out of the ring, and it stuck perfectly in the floor. 5-star segment. Kyle told Will that he did exactly what Will would have done if the roles were reversed, and Will told Kyle that when he shaved his head, he'd said he was nothing like Ospreay, so Kyle needs to pick a lane. Is he nothing like Will, or is he an Ospreay clone? Hell of a line, bruv. Kyle challenged Will to a match at Full Gear, which Will accepted. Brian Cage and Lance Archer then joined Kyle, but Will brought his own backup in Mark Davis and Will Hobbs, and they all brawled with the former Aussie Open teammates going face to face. Archer was left in the ring, which led perfectly into his Falls Count Anywhere match with Roddy Strong. They immediately fought to the back, and Roddy got put through a table in the pitch black darkness before they returned to the light and fought into the crowd. Brian Cage rejoined the fight, but Roddy was backed up by Taven and Bennett until Taven was chokeslammed off the hockey boards onto security. Roddy hit a flying knee over the hockey boards and got the 3. The finish completely came out of nowhere and cut a very fun match, otherwise very short. However, it did have a fantastic promo segment leading into it. But wait, we're not done yet. As MJF watched backstage, Konosuke Takeshita jumped Roddy and Adam Cole made the save, which led into the next match. They had a lot of stuff announced for this show, and they wasted 0 time getting from one thing to the next, and I love that. Maximize those minutes. The bell rang and they fought while Cole's music played, just so Takeshita could get dumped outside in time for Cole to do the boom and the bay, gotta get your in. Takeshita had an incredible flurry of offense, countering a Panama Sunrise into his pile driver, into his German suplex, into a lariat. He is otherworldly. Cole hit the Panama Sunrise, but Takeshita rolled out of the ring, grabbed the Dynamite Diamond ring, punched Cole with it, and got the 3. So it will be MJF versus Roddy Strong at Full Gear. Roddy tried to make the save for Cole, but Takeshita hit him with a low blow, only for Kyle O'Reilly to make the save for him. Unfortunately, this didn't get much of a reaction, which could be a bit of an indictment of how interested people are in this whole Undisputed Kingdom thing and the feud with MJF in general right now, but also this crowd wasn't very hot for much of the stuff on this show, so who's to say? People did lightly chant Undisputed, but Kyle walked away from Cole's offer of a handshake, so maybe that'll be their match at Full Gear. Maybe Kyle just didn't approve of Cole's spray tan. Meanwhile, Ricochet took out Takeshita by the tunnel while in dress shoes, which was honestly the most impressive thing on the show to that point. Renee tried to interview Bobby Lashley, but MVP commandeered the interview and asked Bobby what it's like to potentially end Swerve's career. Honestly, MVP could be a great interviewer if he wasn't already great at like everything else. Claudio and Wheeler Yuta attacked JD Drake for some reason, and then Jon Moxley took over the broadcast and talked about how bad he's gonna beat Orange Cassidy at Full Gear. Orange interrupted with the conglomeration and set up a match with Wheeler Yuta. Mox said to abandon all hope, and as he left, Darby Allin jumped off of a balcony that said "The Bar" on it to wipe out the Death Riders, but that was absolutely a shot at Claudio Castagnoli, and I will not hear differently. Everyone brawled and the Death Riders tried to drive off when Darby jumped in the back of their truck and Claudio swung him into a garage door. Importantly, they were going to drive off without Wheeler Yuta. A fun detail, and it seems we're getting Darby Allin versus Claudio in the near future. These are the good bits of what was unfortunately a very flat promo segment. Chris Jericho accepted Tomohiro Ishii's challenge for the ROH title in 2 weeks on Thanksgiving Dynamite, but more importantly, the Continental Classic begins on the same show, which is very exciting. We are so
back. Then we got Britt Baker versus Penelope Ford. They did the best with what little heat they had going into this match, but there was a lot in this match that didn't land very well. Penelope Ford looked quite good, but this still wasn't her match to win, and Britt reversed the Muda lock into the lockjaw for the win, and then Serena Deeb came out on the stage. We just rotating the women who aren't over on Dynamite instead of committing to literally any one of them right now, eh? Backstage, Mina Shirakawa was challenged by Harley Cameron, and they both shook their tits at each other. But when I do it, I'm told to leave Chipotle. Swerve took on Lio Rush, and after a lot of cut-off spots showing how well the two know each other, they had an awesome stare-down following stereo dives where they both landed on their feet. These men are both brilliant. Lio got a great sequence in, starting with a Poison Rana on the floor and ended with a frog splash for a near fall. Lio tried to cheat, but got caught and hit with the big business for the pin. An excellent TV match that brought some life back to what had been a fairly dead crowd for the last few segments. Oh, but then Swerve called out Bobby Lashley for a fight, and in the process said the wrong town name, so the crowd just didn't appreciate that. And they didn't let Swerve forget it either. MVP tried to save the segment as the Hurt Syndicate jumped Swerve and Nana, but the crowd just wanted to chant, "This is Bridgeport," which is the most anyone has ever cared about Bridgeport. Unfortunately, the flub really derailed this segment and sapped a lot of the wind from its sails. I love everyone involved in this, but this was just unfortunate. Jamie Hayter tried to outline her plans for the future, but she was interrupted by a vignette of Julia Hart waking up with a bloody shirt to a phone call from Brody King telling her it's time to come home. Really cool vignette, and I like that Julia is coming back. I don't think a match between her and Jamie would be a bad idea if literally anything involving the women's title had been even remotely interesting in the last 3 months. Then we had our main event as FTR took on the Kings of the Black Throne. Brody King was at many times the star of this match, particularly at the end, where his suicide dive sealed the deal for his team, wiping out Dax and setting himself up to choke Dax out for the win. I was not expecting FTR to lose this one, but if it means more big wins for Brody King, I certainly can't complain. They all shook hands as the show went off the air, and with that, the friendly lads of the Black Throne are going to full gear. This was sort of a weird show overall. The crowd was very hot and cold, with a lot more cold than hot, and a lot of the second hour just didn't really hit, but when it did, it really did. We're in a bit of a weird place with AEW at the moment, where I generally like most of their TV, but I don't think Full Gear feels like a must-see show. I'm going to watch it, and I'm sure it'll be good, but it doesn't have the same level of anticipation that a lot of the other shows they've done this year have had. This Dynamite gets a 3 out of 5. And before I go, make sure you check out the latest edition of TLC as Ollie, Laurie, and Sullivan decide the definitive worst WWE World Champions ever.